So, everybody here, your wives mentioned you as a large part of their support system in their videos. Can you talk about what it means for you to be supportive of your wives when they are experiencing challenges or significant life transitions? And we've always started with Doug, so let's switch it up. We're going to start with Jahi this time and come back around. So yeah, talk about what it means for you to be supportive of your wife when she's experiencing a challenge or this significant life transition.
Well, I only breathe heavy because my wife has had a lot of different challenges and or life changes. Like I told you before, she's really active. So since we've been married, she's changed jobs once. She's added a secondary career on top of that. She has gotten her master's degree. She even thought about getting her law degree, and I was like, why? But she just needed something else to do, and I was just, and it's just it's amazing to me. But I mean, she's just so driven, and she can handle that. I told you she can juggle everything, and that's one of the things I just admire and about her. She's had her own fitness company and done had workout classes for folks. She's also done personal training. So she is just amazing in so many ways. But throughout all these different processes, I know I kind of mentioned before about being consistent too. During those times, I definitely wanted to make sure she knew that, hey, if these are things that you want to do, these are goals that you have, these are passions or aspirations that you have, yeah, we're together, we're married, but at the same time, I'm not going to hold you back because you're only in the moment for that moment. So what I mean by that, is right now, if in a few minutes, now it's gone, right? It's a new now. So I want you to live for that moment because you never know if you'll get that same moment back. I don't know if she'll get that opportunity to go get her master's later on. I don't know if she'll get the opportunity to be a personal trainer or get certain clientele. You may miss a great opportunity. You just never know. So for me, I never want to hinder any of those type of decisions, wherever it may be. I may give guidance if needed, or I may give some feedback if needed, or if I feel moved to do so. But my role, I know, in those moments are to encourage, to support, to love, and let her know how proud I am because I truly am. Because now we're one and the same. So we are a representation of each other.
Right.
So you succeed, I succeed. So I'm rooting for you. Go ahead on. Especially if it adds more dollars to the bottom line.
Right.
House.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Bring it in.
Hey.
Just bring it on in.
What? You add money, you're not on the pole? You better go ahead on, girl. Hey. So,
do that thing.
Do that. But, so, I mean, and it's vice versa, too. I know if I wanted to do something or go fulfill something, and she's told me that, like, for instance, baseball. So everybody knows my football career kind of got in the short, injuries and whatnot. But a lot of people don't realize that my passion was always baseball. And so that's something now I'm in the men's league, those kind of things, too. And she's actually always the one encouraging me and pushing me to go try out for the Braves. Go do that. I'm just like, maybe if I made that, I'd be in the minor leagues and all this and that, and they don't get paid the same, and we would have to kind of, she's like, if it's your passion, though, we'll make it work. We'll figure it out.
Right.
And that's something that really just touched my heart, and just reminded me how amazing my wife is, too. But that's the kind of relationship we have, and so that just inspires me even more so in those times where she has things she wants to do to make sure that I'm doing my part, too, and supporting and pushing her to do her best and giving her what she needs. And, if it's a long night of studying, all right, what can I do to help make her night better? All right, cool, let me make sure you got something to eat, make sure that you hydrate, and make sure that, you relax and everything. Maybe even have breakfast ready for you in the morning so you can get up and go and not worry about certain other things because you have enough on your plate. Make sure that maybe at night I give you a back massage to make sure that you feel relaxed and you get a good night's rest, So I always try to think of, all right, well, what can I do? If you're doing all this other stuff, it's not like I feel like, oh, dang, she's doing so much, but I'm not. Maybe I should do something else. I've never felt that way. I felt like, all right, if that's what she wants to do, cool, but how can I support that?
Right. Okay. Richard, the same to you. Talk about what it means for you to be supportive of your wife, when she's going through these challenges or significant life transitions.
Yeah.
I think I definitely carry over some things I take from corporate world and business. And one of the number one rules I have is to not make an emotional decision. So when we go through different challenges, I'm the one who really listens to what the challenge is and hear what the instinctive solution is, and then I sit back and say, okay, is that really our only option?
Yeah.
Do we have other options on the table? Do we have to act so eagerly? So I think my role is just to make sure we make the best decision and just not the reactive decision.
Right.
So I think I'm very supportive from that sense.
I mean, that's a huge area to draw from, because I feel like a lot of people get in trouble because we tend to immediately want to jump to a conclusion or choose something. The Bible says be slow to speak and fast to listen, and so a lot of times we're just slow to listen. We just want to jump into something quickly. So you're saying your approach is, I'm not going to be emotional. I'm not going to let my feelings, because feelings only last for that moment. You might feel this way right now. You may be super happy and feel full of joy, and then somebody cuts you off and you're angry. It's not the reality of what's going on around you. So you're saying that you take a step back and you kind of look at the whole situation like, okay, emotionally, this is what I'm being pulled toward, but is that the wise way to go? You're like, no, let me actually think about this and take my time to review all the options, because there's probably a better way. And that's your way of being supportive. And that's the way,
And you definitely don't know what you don't know. Things come up every day. Your lives change by the second.
Right.
So new options come up, or sometimes you haven't had enough time to research something to see what another option is, and then you get that opportunity once you hear that, okay, maybe this other solution is a bit unreasonable right now. Mm-hmm. So let us have time to think and reflect and see what else is out there.
Right.
So, and then you realize, oh, there's this other option we didn't even think about, and it's even better, and it meets all the criteria that fits into our household.
Yeah.
So, I'm a good person, kind of like you said, sit back, let everything process, and let's be patient, and also let's definitely bring God into it. Let's pray about it. Let's sit down and reflect and ask for understanding. Ask for understanding of why may this be happening? Where are you trying to lead me? What direction do you want me to go in? So there's a lot of that. And that's pretty much usually my role in our household.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because a lot of times we always tend to try to do things ourselves. And so when you say bringing God into it, like we go to Him first, a lot of times He'll lead us to people, because we try to internalize things or keep things between us and our spouse. But when you're going through something, the best thing you can do is link up with people who've gone through the same thing. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like when you ask God, hey, guide me, show me, what I need to do, He'll lead you to people who've been through what you're going through, and they'll say, oh, maybe you should consider this, and it's something you never thought about, and then it's the way to go. And you're like, oh, okay. So Doug, with you, talk about what it means for you to be supportive of your wife when she's experiencing challenges or significant life transitions.
What it means for me is to just, number one, 3 different things, right? Number 1, check myself. Number 2, time with my wife. And number 3, help her be supportive in voicing her message. So I'll get to that in a second, but kind of starting with number 1, kind of checking myself, right? I've known everybody at the table here for a while now, Jahi and Ro here since college, and then Rich since, since we were 4 years old, right? And so, Rich, I'm gonna ask you a question. So you remember when my dad coached our Little League basketball team at Rainbow Park, right? Uh-huh. So what was our main play? What was the name of it?
Tankhead?
Yeah. And guess who that was named after?
Uncle?
Actually, no. It was after me and James.
Oh.
we had big, strong, We grew into our heads. Let's put it that way. We grew into our heads. But I'm gonna rub this back in a second.
I just thought about pictures in our level, and that makes a lot of sense.
Alien looking heads, right?
That
But then
makes
like Dad would always say we were super hard headed because I just, especially me, I wanted to do what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. That kind of carries over when you're an adult, right? And so I have to kind of check myself in that regard, right? And what did you used to call me in the room in college? What was it?
It just slipped my mind.
Will used to call me that all the time.
I know we call you Coach Kane, but
King what?
King
Kong.
King
Remember
Kong.
that?
That's what it was. King
I remember
Kong.
that. Will used
Yeah.
to say that all the time, and so he would just say, "Look, it was be over something stupid like juice or something like that," but he would always say, "Dude, like it's your turn to buy the groceries. Why don't you buy the groceries on time?" And I would say, "I'll buy them when I feel like I am buying the groceries."
I
right?
remember that.
And so that's what I would always kind of get into piffs with everybody with. Like I just want to do it when I want to do
It
it.
would be so mad.
And that still happens. That still happens to this day. But like I have to be able to check myself, kind of bring it back in. Especially when my wife and I are going through what we're going through as far as infertility, and really be sensitive to her needs, her wants, and it's just Doug, this isn't something you can do when you want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you really have to be conscientious of that. So that's why I say like know myself, know what naturally like I'm gonna think, but then check myself before that even gets started, right? Because it's not about you; it's about your wife and your family going forward. So you got to focus, right?
Right.
And so the second piece of that is time with my wife, right? That's her like love language, right? So I swear. Like she gave me the pouty face when I walked out of the house today to come here. It's kind of like, babe, this has been on calendar for like 2 weeks. I don't know what to say. Right? But you know what? And that's just really her love language. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We could be watching TV, say yes to the dress, or whatever it is that she wants to watch, right? As long as I'm just sitting, I could be on my phone, right? You know what I mean? But as long as I'm there, right? And so time is really, really, really important. And supporting her in what she wants to do. Brittany has, a YouTube channel as well where she, goes into really, really deep detail about infertility battles. Bellbellbell.com. If y'all want to check it out. Shameless plug. But she goes really deep into infertility issues that we've had, emotional battles that we've had. And us going through the whole process of trying to get pregnant and trying to have a child, and she's shed a tear or two doing those videos, and I feel like that's really therapeutic for her though. At the end of the day, of course she's sought some therapy and going through all of that, and everybody needs kind of like a kick in the brain to be able to like mentally stimulate yourself, right? But I mean, because she's really amazing because she can share all of that and really, really be not only just articulate about it, but like forthright and just honest, straightforward, right? It's funny, we went to the Atlanta Food and Wine Fest this past weekend, and there was a young lady by the name of Eileen who I hadn't seen since high school. Like we graduated, we just kind of went our separate ways, and we never saw each other again. But she recognized me and she said, "Doug," and I'm like, took me a couple seconds, and I'm like, "Eileen, hi, how you doing?" Brittany we were with Brittany's parents, with the in-laws. They kind of walked off. We lost each other in the crowd, but she said, "Hey, I want to meet your wife because I saw her YouTube videos and we're going through the same thing." And I was like, "Yo, that's huge." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people wouldn't think to like share all that personal information, right? And it's just a really sensitive topic.
Yeah.
But if it can help one person, and apparently it helped Eileen, ended up grabbing Brittany and introducing them, and that was great. But man, like when she said that, I'm like, well, I mean, maybe that's the purpose, right?
Yeah.
That we're going through
Yeah.
this. There's always a divine purpose, right? Kind of bringing it back to bringing God and religion and your faith into it. I mean, maybe that's it. So that's something we couldn't see before, but I feel like it helps Brittany, and in turn it helps me. So
I mean, it kind of goes back to what Richard's saying. Like that's God called her to share her story, and in turn, that's helping other people. Like, how random is it to run into somebody you haven't seen in years?
Literally,
it's
since
like,
2004.
Yeah,
I mean, 14 years, and like, boom.
Yeah.
This brought us back together.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's like God showing you, hey, what you're doing is working. Keep sharing your story because that's how you help other people. It's really powerful. What are some of the things you all do to show your support and help your spouses be selfish, during their process? We can start back with you, Doug.
Well, so I guess what I would do, like I mentioned before, a whole lot of time going to, with Brittany and I like to go to like new restaurants or
All the time.
all the time.
All the time.
All the time. I mean,
You see it too, right?
Dude, my going out bill is astronomical.
And I just have the to-go
Good
plate.
God.
Right.
Like,
you know Brittany not eating all that food.
I know!
You know.
No. Hey, look.
Tell the truth.
On that point, I find myself. Have you ever done this? Right? You sit down at the table, right? And you're like, babe, no, you go first. You go first, right?
Mm-hmm.
She orders some big spaghetti with like a salad on the side. I'll get the appetizer.
Uh-huh.
I'll get the calamari. And then the waiter looking at you like, bro, she just ordered like a 3-course meal, and you ordered. I'm like, bro, just wait.
Yep.
Just wait. 1 hour later, right?
Yep.
But yeah, that's the game we play. But I mean, that's something we really enjoy doing. And then, she'll be at work. And all day we're just texting each other back and forth. And she'll send a new restaurant, and it's just like, you want to go? It's like, all right, let's do it, right? So that really keeps her mind on something other than the battles that we're facing. And so that's really good. You want to diverge the focus a little bit, do something you both enjoy, kick it, relax, and that's really kind of how I feel like I show my support the most, is to really just get Brittany's mind off all of the kind of real world issues that that we're having today.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's pretty good. What about you, Richard? How do you show your support?
I would say a lot of people, sometimes when they enter a marriage, they have non-negotiables, things that they just will not change, things that are fixed and set in place.
Yeah.
I think I show my support where I don't have a lot of those. So in our marriage, while Ashlyn was going through her infertility struggles, and even today some, 1 month we might be vegetarian, the next month we might be pescatarian, the next month we might be vegan and such.
Yeah.
So I never conceived that I would be eating any type of meatless diet. But once she said it, I was like, okay, what do we need to do? What do I need to do to support this effort of you trying to reach fertility? So that was a big wake-up call. Even like I never ate a meal without meat before. They never conceived it. But I started thinking about it. I started engaging in this new diet plan, and you start realizing, man, this isn't that bad. I don't need meat with every meal. I can actually survive without eating meat with every meal. So that was a pretty eye-opening experience for me. Beyond that, sometimes we just sit back and just converse about everything. Well, anything.
Yeah.
A Friday night might come up and we're not doing anything, and we're just watching something on Netflix, drinking a beer or so, and just talking about just philosophies and such. And usually my wife will bring up like, man, I want us to get to this point where we can do this and that, and be like, yeah. Then I egg it on. It's like, yeah, we can get to that point, then we can do this. But hold up, we're not going to do this, and we will do this, and we're not going to give away this. And then sometimes I get too analytical about it and such, but I reel myself back in and just start to go with the flow of like, yeah, we just dream together, just talk. Next thing you know, the TV's off, or the Netflix message will come up is, do you want to continue watching this episode? And we're not even paying attention to it. So I think that's a great way I stay supportive for whatever effort she has, because I don't really have too many fixed things that I have to have.
Yeah.
I'm very flexible in that sense, and I can eat whatever, I can pretty much do whatever, I can adapt to any kind of environment. So that's a great way that I try to stay supportive for her in whatever effort she has coming up.
That's a pretty good way to be supportive. So Jahi, what are some of the things you do to show support for your wife and help her be selfish?
I am still working on it, but trying my best to make sure to, you know, what she needs. You know, if she, you know, needs me to plug in her phone that's on her nightstand because it's, you know, getting difficult for her to turn or whatever the case may be, then I'm going to hop up and go do it. You know, just want to make sure I say yes, just to make sure that she feels support, she's getting what she needs. You know, 'cause she's playing a huge role in this process, even though we're in it together. So I just want to make sure I'm doing my part, you know, because I can't feel some of the struggles and difficulties she feels during this process, you know, of carrying the child. But I know I can do what I can to make sure that I make things maybe slightly easier, if possible, for her. And that's getting her what she needs. If I need to make a late night run to the store, whatever that may look like. If she wants to do certain things for even baby shower or whatever the case may be, you know, it's kind of like, sure, you know, if you want to do this, you want to add this, yeah, I get my 2 cents about it. And sometimes I might be like, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like, all right, this is what you want. All right, cool, babe. Let's do it. Whatever that looks like. So I definitely just want to make sure she feels that love because it is genuine, and I want her to feel that and make sure she knows that during this time. So my thing is just trying to say yes as much as possible within reason, but saying yes to what she needs, what she wants, whatever's happening, and then make sure I do my part on doing, not only saying yes, but like giving her what she needs from me as her husband, as her friend. So I know there's things that I'm still growing on and trying to work towards doing. She asked me to do something, doing it in a timely manner. You know, that's something I struggle with. I'll be like, all right, I'll get to that when I get to it. You know,
that delay is
but my time frame might be different from your time frame,
Right.
and it might be the same day. She's like, hey, you done it yet? I'm thinking, you know what? That was my next weekend plan. That's
Right.
what that was.
That don't need to happen. Does it?
She stuck with
You mean
deadlines.
now?
Right? Yeah.
I need a date and a time to come with that request. Like, you need.
I was like, oh, so I just try to do a little bit better job being conscious of those things, and at least even if I don't do it right then, doing it sooner than later. And again, it's something I'm still growing on, you know, just as a person, just because that's not necessarily me, but I know it means a lot to her. And so by doing that for her, it just shows that I'm supporting. And so definitely, you know, actions are a big part of her love language. So I'm still a work in progress, but I try to do that, especially more so now. So, and we've done a lot of things, you know, painting the whole baby room, so that was a fun experience, and even did that actually sooner than I was kind of expecting, but we started it, got it done, knocked it out, you know. So putting up a little crib that goes right next to the bed, and so put that together, you know, the other day when it came in. So just trying to get things done. It's like, oh, we want to do this, want to do that. All right, cool. Let's do it, and let me make sure I get to it or do it or whatever the case may be in a timely fashion too. So just make sure I'm hitting on those things I know she likes for me to do.
Very nice, very nice. Well, fellas, that is the end of our episode this week. I want to thank you all for being here. This information has been so enlightening and just so helpful. I'm glad it was able to shed light on just fatherhood and how not only our wives go through these things and being mothers and becoming mothers, but we share it as well. I know we don't share it physically and not in the same way emotionally, but we also share a portion because we're partners. We're one once we say I do. And I'm glad you're all able to shed light on that so people can know. Just thank you for your time. And thank you all for tuning in and watching. Next week, Dr. Sims will be back to help you learn how you can become more selfish and be a better you. Thanks.
Hey, you're here.
Cheers, fellas. I gotta switch hands. There we go.